you guys are really all out of luck for coming, so sorry about that. But I realized I like cars. I really like cars a lot, and mainly because I found that a high schooler's car is a really good indication of how much their parents love them. Like, oh man, she drives a new Lexus, her parents must love her, or wow, she drives a 1982 Dodge Stratus, she must be adopted. But that's the kind of things that I see. Like, I look for these things. Like, I've seen this new car, not really a new car, but it's a car that, it's a Jeep, and doesn't really have like walls or anything, but it's just kind of like the shell of a car. And like, that can't be safe at all, right? When I've talked to people who have this car, they're like, no, Brian, it's totally safe. It's totally safe because it's got a really good roll cage. You know what I think works better than a roll cage? Doors, maybe. I don't know. Like, I was guessing there or something. But like, these are the kind of things you see when you like, walk around the Cinco High School parking lot. And for me, it's more than a parking lot. It's like an episode of Fear Factor. It's like, all right, you got to get from your parking spot to the one bottleneck entrance with your two loud idiot best friends in the back who won't shut up, and then not get pulled over by the cop on Cinco Ranch Boulevard, okay? But I don't get pulled over by that cop. I'm too smart for that. I get pulled over by the cop near that road that borders the mall. And for those of you who don't know, that's a 30, okay? I was doing 60. But in my defense, I thought it was a 45, so it was okay. So like the cop pulls me over, and like apparently I was going too fast, so he wouldn't give me a warning. But like, that's when I realized that speeding is the only crime you can commit that you can actually get a warning for, right? Like you ever get pulled over by a cop that's like, you know how many people you murdered back there? Didn't you see the sign? And see, you laugh at that, but I think having a murder limit sign would be a really good idea. You come into Houston, it's like murder limit, 0. Oh, good to know. But you know, it'd be different in the school zones. Like, you know, you're murdering 30 people, and then, oh, you know, you have to murder 20 because you're in a school zone and the lights are flashing. Or maybe not even that, like, you know, the murder limit's 30, but you're murdering like 40, because really they give you like a 10 murder cushion, okay? But like, you know, it's murder 45, and then bam, like right that changed to murder 30, and the cop is sitting right there. It's a murder trap. He was just waiting for you to get through there. But it was on the sign, so like maybe that worked. But like that right there is why my family doesn't drive when we go on vacations. We fly. I like flying because I think it's a lot more fun. Because you get to go through security, and security is great because they make you take off your shoes because there was a terrorist who put a bomb in his shoes, so now we gotta take our shoes off, right? I'm waiting for the terrorist that puts a bomb in his pants. Right? Go through security, everyone simultaneously lines up and drops their pants. And that is when the terrorists win, okay? There's always that one person like who sets off the metal detector. It's always like their belt or something, but I always give them this really dirty look like, what is it you hate about America? The justice or the freedom? Right? So that happens, right? And then you actually get to go on the plane. The plane is usually pretty fun, except you've got like that one person sitting next to you that always wants to talk to you. Like that doesn't fly, no pun intended. Like that doesn't fly with me, right? Because like when I'm on a plane, I'm like eyes forward, no talking. I call it urinal etiquette, okay? Like that's the rule. Right? But sometimes you actually got to go to the urinal, so you go to the bathroom on the plane. And like for me, the bathroom on the plane is the scariest part of the plane because, like, I don't know if it's just me, but it always seems that like that's when the turbulence happens, like right when you're in the bathroom, okay? And I'm really afraid I'm like the plane just gonna drop out of the sky, and I'm gonna die with my pants off, and then the terrorists have won again. But you know, it's. Like, there's got to be something wrong with it, okay? Like, these are the kind of things, like, I'm thinking about, okay? But, you know, I tell my friends these jokes, and they always look at me really weird because I have really smart friends, right? They want to be, like, doctors and stuff. Like, I think that's great. If your dream is to be a doctor, go for it. And then, like, but then there are some people who want to be, like, eye doctors, okay? And that's really, like, the bottom of the medical totem pole. Okay? Because like you walk into the eye doctor's office, right? You sit down, and it's the only waiting room where they try to sell you stuff while you're there. It's like, you're waiting for an appointment, you want some glasses? Like, it's not like you go to a doctor's office and they offer you a prosthetic arm while you're waiting. So it's a little sketchy to begin with, okay? And then you're reading the magazines, and the magazines are always like 20 years old, okay? So you're sitting there reading the magazine, they call your name, and you're like, wow, Reagan got reelected, I can't believe that. And you put the magazine down, and you go in. And I don't know if you've been to the eye doctor lately, but they've got this like new machine before you even get to see the eye doctor, where you put your head down on the chin, you put your chin down right here, and they just like blow air into your eye, okay? And while I'm no eye doctor, I'm fairly certain that there's no medical purpose to that at all. It was just like two eye doctors like, hey Phil, bet you $50 I can make a machine where we blow air in people's eyes, and they'll think it's real, right? Like the eye doctor has become that bully from 3rd grade that just taps you on the shoulder and goes like that, right? So then, but you get that over with, and you actually go into the room. They do that like the better or worse test with the new lenses, like better or worse. And that always makes me really nervous, because I'm afraid I'll get it wrong. Because they have no way of checking. They gotta trust you, right? So like I, right now, could be seeing not to my fullest potential and would have no way of knowing, right? So I get really nervous when that happens. But then like they give me the lenses so I can actually see again. And I see like their medical degrees up on the wall, and it says like, you know, Bob Smith, he's a doctor. No, you're really not, right? Because like, I suffered from some grievous injury, and my friend's like, is anyone in this room a doctor? It's like, well, I'm an eye doctor. Really? Hey, you said you were a plumber. You want to help him out, maybe? Little digression, by the way. That song by The Fray, How to Save a Life, doesn't actually tell you how to save a life. Okay? Like, if someone's choking, just laying down a list of what went wrong isn't going to help them. Like, well, you're choking. And the reason that is because the place where your air is supposed to go, you've got a piece of chicken. And I would have stayed up with you all night, but then again, I don't know how to save a life, so I really don't know, okay? But you know, if you want to be an eye doctor, fine. You know what? Go for it. We all have dreams. I bet you all the people backstage who stood their talents want to be celebrities. And that's cool. If you want to be a celebrity, I say go for it. I personally don't want it because I think it's too much work. I want to marry a celebrity. Because then you get the benefits of being a celebrity, but you don't have to do anything. Right? Except, and the thing is, I think we all want to marry a celebrity, and you may not admit it, but you've been reading the news one day, or like reading the paper, and you realize that like your favorite celebrity is engaged or getting married, and just for a second, you get really angry because you thought you had a chance. Right? It's like, man, Eva Longoria's getting married? Crap! Thought I had a chance. How delusional do you have to be to think that you're gonna like marry Eva Longoria? It's like, you know, I hear they need a new pope. Oh, they got that German guy. Crap! Thought I had a chance. You know, so I think there has to be something wrong with me if this is what I'm thinking about, but I've come to the realization that I don't think it's me. I really think it's this school. I think it's Cinco High School. I think there's something wrong with this school. Like, let's break it down, okay? Yeah! Cinco Ranch High School, when translated literally, means 5 ranch. For a high school, I think we could have better grammar than that in our name. Like, the adjective-noun agreement on that is just atrocious. I have no idea how we get by with that. I went to a baseball game one time, and they did a cheer, and the cheer was 1, 2, 3, Cinco. You missed a number! How can you miss a number? You're in high school. If you know there's a 4 there, it's in 2 different languages, so I don't want any of that, well, I didn't know it was coming. It's bilingual. This is the school. This is the school that has to offer free 100 test grades if you pass the tax test. As if graduation wasn't incentive enough. Nah, I don't really care that much about this test. I'm really not going to graduate. Oh, free 100s. Well, now I'm concerned about my academic future. But I mean, what can I say? We are the best high school in America, so I guess I got to kind of see. You know, that's not our slogan anymore. I don't know if you knew this, but our real slogan now is Cinco Ranch, shining a light onto the future. Which I think is kind of ironic, considering that we've had trouble keeping the lights on. I always thought electricity was one of those things you have down pat, but apparently we still need some more time to work on that kind of thing. But I'm glad you guys liked that last little section about the school, because I'm gonna, get a little serious here. That wasn't my original act a few days ago. Some of you may know now, I may have told you, my original act was about religion. I was making some jokes about that. I can assure you it wasn't offensive. In no way was it offensive, but some people in the administration and the district and whatnot felt that it was, and I was told to change my act. Like actually right now, I'm on 5-second tape delay. I told these jokes 5 seconds ago. Don't worry, you thought they were hilarious. And I think that kind of disappoints me as a society, where we have to sacrifice humor for political correctness, even when that humor probably wasn't even offensive. I think we need to stop censorship, especially in schools. It makes no sense to censor in schools, which is why someday I hope that I can get to some kind of position of power, someone with some kind of moral authority, that I can affect this, or billions of people will listen to me when I say no censorship. Yes! I hear they need a new pope. No! German guy. Crap! Thought I had a chance. You guys are awesome, thanks.
back to the talent show.
Yeah, we're gonna